certainly achievable to deal with early childhood development in the way that they're talking about, and it's certainly necessary because there's wide agreement that early childhood development is the key to improved education performance. The problem I think they're going to run up against, if they're serious about this, is that education, like many other areas, is about organized interest groups. Now, there are very strong organized groups lobbying for resources for teachers, for schools, for learners. There aren't well-resourced interest groups lobbying for early childhood education. So unfortunately what tends to happen is that everybody talks about early childhood development, but nobody does it because that's not what the interest groups want. So I think the answer is that it's achievable, but they're going to need a great deal of political will if they're going to follow through on that particular promise.
Yeah, and probably the most unfortunate part for the pupils or the learners, whatever you want to call them, is you need to enter into the working world with the necessary skills. So there are pockets of excellence in South Africa that, rather detracting from the pockets of excellence, you must try and replicate the pockets of excellence. And if that means expanding the pockets of excellence, i.e. Getting more teachers into some existing good schools.
Will they have the resources, but financially? Perhaps if money is not the problem, they are the skilled personnel or teachers that you need. We have a challenge in that area as well because we don't produce enough teachers. And sometimes we are not producing the teachers that we need to produce, for example, who have subject knowledge. So I think it can be said that the perhaps they are biting too much to chew.
If you look at the manifesto, the first thing they're promising is action against private sector corruption. That obviously is achievable. It's probably, interestingly, the most straightforward one. I mean, obviously, there are strong private sector interests in this country, but as we've seen with the construction industry, if you are serious about exposing collusion, you can make progress.
Corruption is a cancer, so you must follow all of the cancerous rates where they are and uproot them.
Look, I mean, around about 1 in 3 people in South Africa are completely reliant on the government on a month-to-month basis. So the unfortunate part is that the losers, the big losers in terms of misappropriation, are the people who are most vulnerable in society.
I think within government, they are talking about improved tender processes, and that should be achievable. When they talk about preventing business activity by public servants and the way in which there's been this blurring between business activity and public servants, that is going to be by far the most difficult. I think all the parties' promises on jobs are not achievable. I think that there's an urgent need to change the debate in South Africa. We need to accept that millions of South Africans for generations will not have formal jobs, and we need to have a national debate on how we can ensure that those people are productive citizens who can earn an income.
Gee, I don't know, politics, promises and jobs. I don't know, I mean, we're all suckers for promises, aren't we? Because we always think they're achievable. It's possibly a great way of soaking up the labor force in between now and then. So if it works, then fabulous, absolutely fabulous, because we do unfortunately have too many unskilled people in South Africa. We do need an infrastructure. You do need to marry both together.
So, these wild promises of 6 million jobs or 8 million jobs, I think just lead us in the wrong direction. They lead us away from discussing the issues we need to discuss if we're going to address the needs of South Africans coming onto the job market.